Hi, it's Jennifer with Astro Tea Astrology. Welcome to my channel. Let's spill some tea. Today we are going to talk about, again, on March 7th, we are going to have the transit of Saturn moving into Pisces. So this happens about an hour after the new moon, or after the full moon in Virgo. So it's going to be at about 8:34 Eastern Standard Time, a.m. So the significance of this, Saturn takes about 30 years to move completely through the entire zodiac, or to go all the way around. So it's going to be in this sign for about 2.5 to 3 years. We're looking at it staying there until about February of 2026. So whatever is starting off now is going to kind of end around then. So the themes we're going to be seeing in Saturn. Saturn is about structure and is about boundaries. Now, Saturn is what we kind of refer to as the gatekeeper. It is kind of at the end of the original or traditional planets before we discovered Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So it kind of is, at the end. It's stopping, endings, kind of almost a little bit of an outcast as well. You can't really see it with the naked eye, or most of the other planets, all the other traditional planets, you can. So the significance of it going into Pisces. Now, Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. So for a while, it's been in signs where it's in what we call its dignity. It's happy there. Saturn in Capricorn is about, getting things done and, fundamentally, and having, boundaries and structure. And with then it going into Aquarius, it's got a little different. Like, it still's about rules, but it's about whatever rules it decides to have, not the normal traditional rules. So Saturn decides to make this rule, this is the way it's going to be. Aquarius can be a little bit quirky. So Saturn in Aquarius is a little quirky too. The rules have changed, and you can even see in everyday society, things are changing. Things that we normally didn't look at being normal, or what we used to refer to as normal, have now become the norm, which is actually a great thing. We're starting to embrace different types of marriages, different types of social and economic, we're embracing people that want to, love whoever they want. And Saturn's pretty much saying it's okay, and this is the way it's going to be. So get used to it, because this is the new rule. This is the new normal. Now, with it moving into Pisces, Pisces is very kind of vague. It's kind of foggy. It's there's no boundaries. So boundaries that may have been set kind of are up in the air when Saturn is moving in to Pisces. Pisces doesn't like boundaries. Pisces likes escapism. It likes kind of doing its own thing, flying by the seat of its pants. Again, it's a mutable planet, or a mutable sign. So the mutable signs are, again, kind of like the cleanup crew. They just do whatever is in front of them. Okay, we're doing this, good, we'll do it. The other mutable planets are Virgo, Sagittarius, and Gemini. So if you have your sun, moon, rising in any of these mutable signs, then you're gonna probably feel this a little bit more. Now, because Saturn is moving right over, doesn't mean this is something that you're gonna feel right away. With the Saturn transit, it's something that's going to start, and it's going to kind of build as it goes through. Now, if you have planets in any of these mutable signs, or at the different degrees it's going to pass, that's when you're going to feel it. You're going to feel, maybe fighting for structure. Maybe it's a lot to just similar to what we went through with the full moon. It's structure building on something that we weren't sure about. So kind of building rules and building boundaries where maybe there haven't been, or maybe getting rid of those boundaries. So kind of on a mundane level or a global scale, we look at pattern this as maybe building walls, or maybe like Pisces is a water sign, and water, it's about containing it. It's about maybe building dams, building kind of using water to your advantage. Like, how can we use this to benefit us? Saturn is about, building structure. So we're going to build this dam so that we can utilize this power of this water that has no boundaries, but we're going to make a boundary. We're going to use it so we can use it to our benefit, maybe for a different kind of electrical source, or so that we don't have to rely on, all, gas and things like that maybe we don't want to rely on so much. We kind of want to, also, air. We could be, controlling air. That's, putting up windmills around. That is containing the air to utilize it the way we can use it to benefit society. So that's more of on a global scale. Also, it could go a little bit of a different way. We could see where things are going out of their boundaries. So I might want to look at like floods, for instance, or maybe there is a dam break, or, so that is Pisces almost fighting against the Saturn moving into it, because it doesn't want to have boundaries. No, I don't want to be contained. So you might see flooding, you might see, air going, taking on a little bit more, maybe air and water working together. Saturn is very cold and dry, where Pisces is more of a, watery. So a little bit of tension right there between the two. So now, more on a personal level, Saturn can help you with limitations. I mean, it represents limitations. It can help you with discipline. So if there's something that you have been working towards, say you've had a little bit of a problem with your, maybe you've been partaking a little bit much in, say, the glasses of wine at the end of the night. Maybe they're getting to be a little bit more than 2 or 1. Maybe substance abuse is becoming an issue. Well, Saturn, with its restrictive, with its restrictions, it can help almost maybe stop that. Maybe it will help you be like, you know what, I need to kick this habit. This is not good for me, and I don't always need to escape, and I need to focus, and I need to know what's going on. So what I also like about this is depending on where it is in your what house it falls in. So if this is falling into, I would say, either your 12th or 1st house, that's going to be maybe with addictions that you may have, something that you've been trying to hide. Maybe you've been sneaking and you don't want people to know, especially a 12th house. Maybe you don't want people to know the things that you've been doing. And that you want to put a stop to it because you're tired of the secrets. Maybe your enemy is yourself, and you need to face that enemy and you need to conquer it. Saturn can help with that. Saturn can give you that structure and give you that drive to stop what you're doing that is not benefiting you. If it's happening in your 1st house, again, it normally will have to do with yourself and something that's going on within you. 3rd house, we're just going to skip over a couple. We won't go through all of them. 3rd house could be siblings. So say that you have a brother or sister that has been fighting addiction. Maybe you can help help them get the help they need. Maybe they'll finally be able to come and face the reality of what they're dealing with. Third house has to do with siblings, so, and even close acquaintances, things like that. So, it also has to do with, online things. So, say even you have kids that are addicted to video games or going online or looking at social media, and that might not be healthy for them. And, maybe this is going to put a little bit of a stop to that. And maybe, come back to reality. Being online is not reality. Be where your feet are and take in what the earth has to give. Moving on to maybe even go up to the seventh house. The seventh house is about partnerships. It's about relationships. So maybe you have a partner that's struggling, maybe with alcohol or something like that. And you might be able to help your partner, or your partner can maybe help himself. The Saturn can help them, again, see the evil in their ways that might be, causing a rift in your relationship. Saturn is about endings, so hopefully the endings are good endings and not bad endings. We always want to think of the positive, and we want to make the most out of it. Our natal horoscope is kind of what we were promised when we were born. It was the exact way the sky looked the moment you were born. And this gives you what you are capable of doing in this lifetime. But you just have to work towards it. Nothing is going to be handed to you. You still have to work towards it. So when people right now that have their original Saturn in Pisces will be getting what we call a Saturn return. So this happens when they're about 27 to 30, then again, in the late 50s, early, to 60. So about every 30 years, you get what's called your Saturn return. So people that have their Saturn in Pisces are going to be expecting this. Now, this can be rough. Saturn is showing what you've worked for and what you deserve, and what are you deserving of from everything you've done. So if you've worked hard, things are gonna kind of fall into place. Saturn returns can be good, but it can be a building over a couple years depending on where your Saturn is in Pisces. So if you have it in the later degrees of Pisces, this is something that you're going to start feeling, and then it's going to come more into culmination as we get, sorry, my cat's making all sorts of noise, as we get into the later degrees. And when you finally have your Saturn return, it's just kind of going to be the culmination of what you've done. If you've been working hard towards your job and your career, well, finally you might get a little bit more out of it. It might be tough going, it might be a lot of struggling. You're gonna feel it, and you always do. These times can be tough in your life. You don't know, this is when people start questioning, do I want to have children, and do I want to buy a house, and I need to start growing up. This is the change between adolescence and growing up, and kind of your free for all to all of a sudden, bang, you're responsible, you need to grow up, and that's the way it is. So this is one of the, I would say, 3 major ingresses going on this month. This one starts it off with the full moon, so that's kind of interesting little combo. Later on in the month, we have the biggie, and this is the one that we've all been kind of looking out for, which is Pluto moving into my mind is just drawing a blank. So Pluto is going to be moving. It's going to be around the 25th, I think. I'd have to look into it. I don't have the exact dates, but it's going to be moving into Aquarius. So it's been in Capricorn for a while. Now it's going to be moving into Aquarius. So that is very exciting. Then we finally, a few days later, have Mars moving out of Gemini, and I know for one, I am looking forward to that. I'll have a video on what fun that was of having Mars in Gemini for the past 8 months, but we'll be glad to see that one leave. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and please also subscribe to my channel so that you can see my other videos and we can continue on this journey together. Also, click on the little bell and you can get notifications of upcoming videos. I'm going to try and do at least 1 or 2 a week. So we'll have some fun. There's a lot going on this month, so we'll have a lot to talk about. Have a great day.